Hey everyone. I took some time before starting because last time I started too soon and cut myself off. So this might or might not be the third time I have tried this. I have had varying degrees of success. We're going to hope that this one goes a little bit more smoothly. Not a good start so far. Okay, so it is our first official week of online class. Thanks for to those of you who got started and did what you needed to do to prepare. Our agenda for today, I'm dividing this into two parts. We're doing part one and part two at about 15 minutes each because I don't want the files to be too big. So I just started my stopwatch. Part one, we're going to just continue our discussion of the 6 traits and talk a little bit about lit circles. And then in part two, we're going to move into the Goodreads project and what's due for next week. So examining students' writing using Spandl's 6 traits. We left off talking about the first two of these, or sorry, the first 3 ideas, organization and voice. Then you've read about word choice and sentence fluency. I cannot remember whether you read about conventions or not, but we are really going to try to focus on word choice and fluency today, and then pull all 6 in for the remainder of our time with some Padlet and Flipgrid responses. So when we're talking about word choice, we're looking for just the right word. We're looking for memorable words that create pictures and movies in our mind. It's just the right word because it's accurate or precise and it helps you get it. Really looking for strong verbs and not just adjectives because of these two things. We want, like, if we're just helping kids focus on modifiers, then they use language to impress and not to teach. We don't want them just, going willy-nilly through the thesaurus, but we want them to use terminology when they need to explain their thinking. So if we look at this one, I'm going to let you guys read this one, pause the video and read it so you're familiar with it. And then think about how well they did with this. In fact, if we go to the 6 traits rubric and we look at word choice, what would we give it? It's very hard to see. I should have done a better job of getting ready with this guy. So here's a 6. Here's a 5. 4. 3. See if thesaurus overload is bad. 2 and 1. This rubric is in the week 9 module if you need to pause and go look at it in comparison to I May Be Quiet. So I'll just tell you what I think because I can't ask you what you think, but I will be asking you about another one. I feel like it's about a 5. I feel like when I look at the words, when he says, let's see here, I'm around, I don't need to monopolize conversations. Like, that's a strong verb. When he uses repetition, he does so on purpose. I hear well, I hear. That's all very, very personal or purposeful. Sorry. So I feel like it's his words create a clear message, image, and impression. Like, I can picture those things, kids sitting there on the side of a gym on folding chairs. I can see maybe going with this, but I don't think every word counts. Oh, sorry. Let's make that go away. Hello. Sorry. Pay no attention to my friends texting me. I turned off the messaging. Okay. So, anyway, I think it's not every word counts and not everything is powerful. So I would give it a 5. I'm interested to hear how that compares with yours. Hopefully we were in one number of each other. Got some here. If we look at junk food really quickly, you can pause it and read it and see what you would give it. I'm assuming you've paused. I'm going to go over here and look at these. and say that I feel like here, his words are functional and clear, understandable, sometimes noteworthy. Like he didn't have to say a candy bar. He doesn't have to say, fried chicken. There's strong moments. There's a few cliches. I don't think they're fuzzy. I don't think there's unintended I think there's plenty of energy. I think some moments may need pruning or expansion, but I think that's more about ideas than it is about, sorry, pay no attention to the professors. I think it's more about the pruning. Sorry, you know what I'm saying. All right, we are moving away from this. I hope you get the idea. I want you to go ahead and what you're going to be doing, and I'll show you in a minute what you're going to be doing. I'm going to give you an essay to rate, and one of them will be word choice. If we go to those same two and we look at them in terms of their sentence fluency, sentence fluency is more about, let's see here. Sentence fluency is more about easy to read, rhythm, flow, cadence, carefully crafted sentences, a variety of length, concise, direct sentences. If we use a fragment, it's for effect, not by accident. If we use a run-on, it's for effect, not by accident. And you'll probably use it in dialogue. And you want some consistency with tense. Variety. This is, I think these two are the ones that can really help you. Like, was this sentence carefully crafted? Was thoughtfully put together? And then is there variety? Do they do that in different ways in different places? So if we go back to, I may be quiet, but I listen very loud. This is, if we were looking at this repetition is purposeful. R, we don't need a colon after R, but that's, so there's a little bit of, and that goes with sentence fluency, not with punctuation. Let's see here. This works well. Okay, so I think we can see here that we've got, that it's readable with minimal rehearsal, readable on the very first try, easy to read with inflection that brings out voice, rhythm you want to imitate, but it's not striking. They're not, I think we're at a 5 on this one too. It's better than this. It's not as good as this. So sometimes even if I can't say on purpose that it's a 5, I can say it's got elements of a 6 and elements of a 4. So I'm going to call it a 5. So I'm going to have you, let you read Junk Food and the Redwoods and see what you think as well. We'll talk about that in the Google Hangout. Sorry, in the Zoom meeting. I couldn't get Google Hangout to work, so we're doing a Zoom meeting. We'll talk about those. What I want to show you is something that I have done to help students with word choice. Let's say I read their writing and I see that these are some common words that they're using over and over again in their writing. Then this is a strategy called Think Dots, and I'd have kids sitting in groups of 6. They would roll and they would write their answers like their teammate. If they got question 1, then their prompt would be say, said, etc. And then I have them jigsaw, and everybody who rolled say, said would work together. Everybody who rolled go, went would work together, tell, told, etc. And in their teams, they would work to find better, spicier words and write them here. They'd actually, I ask them usually after they've got a whole bunch of them that they choose 3 synonyms with increasing degrees of intensity. And then they go back and then they share those 3 words only, so that kids, when they're sharing, aren't writing 17 words here. When I show you that I am doing angry, then I would show, and I would share with my team that I had furious, perhaps livid, and perhaps smoldering. maybe I had those 3, and those are the only 3 I would share instead of my entire list. And then we would put those up on the board. I've used paint chips before, like 3 levels of intensity, 3 different words on those, and put those up on the wall so that students can use them and refer to them when they're writing. So they don't use these tired words all the time. They've got some others to choose from. So that is one strategy you can use to improve word choice. And I know there were a lot more in your reading. For sentence fluency, really is like even having kids like rewrite the same sentences in as many ways as they can. Adding dialogue where there wasn't dialogue before to kind of break it up some. Those are different ways that we can help them. So what you're going to do in terms of the 6 traits is you are going to, this link is also in Canvas. You're going to go to this link. You are going to record yourself. You're going to read the Fox first and have your rubric out, and then you're going to record yourself giving your ratings for the first 5 of these traits that we've talked about. So you'll need to read that first and have your rubric handy. You can even hold up rating cards if you want to, just to be fun. And then the final part for this block of our time is you were supposed to do this for today. And I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about this in our hangout as well. But I think you can see how even lit circles, even if you're using them for different, you can even use them to teach different traits. Or you can pull a member from each group that's like maybe you've got a member from this group, this group, this group, this group, pull them as a small group and have them work on a similar trait that they need help with. When we've got lit circles in the room, we free ourselves up to work with students in different configurations, even not just with that configuration. And so we could put lit circles together and have them find example of like in their lit circles, find something that has really strong voice and then share it with the class. That's one way to use lit circles in combination with traits. But then the other is, as I said, to pull kids and do a little writing workshop on the side while reader's workshop is going on. It's a really fluid way to handle your instruction when kids need a bunch of different things. Okay, here endeth segment 1. I will see you together in a minute. Oh, and to tell you also that this discussion of lit circles will be continued. Once you guys have done part of your project, we're going to come back to lit circles and see about how you could use some of your texts as choices in a lit circles situation. All right, part 2 in a minute.